Let's go, girl.
That's
definitely not going to be our intro. Anyway, hi Georgie.
Hi Anna.
I can't believe this is our first podcast.
How the hell are you?
Guys, if you're listening for the first time, which you probably will be, because this is our first podcast, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. We really don't know how to do this intro because we've never done one before. So just bear with us. We're learning this process, okay? This is new.
This is the female shit show because we're going to talk about female shit. It's going to be a shit show. We chat shit, all sorts of shit.
That is the best summary. The kind of stuff that you talk with your female friends, we're just going to be doing it, but on a podcast.
Just so other people can experience it. Because we have some deep chats, we have some funny chats.
We have some DMCs. I'm going to just read this.
That was my nail against the pillow, by the way, not solid.
Cheeky. So, we've got the introductions, we've got the name out of the way, but I think it's really important to be able to distinguish who's actually who.
If you ever are walking behind us and we both have our hair down,
we look
in the same outfit,
pretty similar. Like we've both got long blonde hair, dark
we
roots.
could easily
similar height.
Yeah, we could look exactly the same amount, and then we open our mouths.
I mean, I don't know, because apparently, according to my family, I've lost my southern accent.
So Anna has a southern accent.
Like, I grew up in Oxfordshire. Obviously,
say.
I've been living in Manchester for the past...
Yeah.
Since I was 18.
But I'm the opposite, so it's...
The past 6 years.
The opposite.
That took me so long to work out.
I think when we talk together, though, it is obvious.
Do you think?
Yeah.
The funny thing is, your northern accent's not strong, and my southern accent's not strong, so it was out to we're exactly the same person.
Well, I have a phone job, so I speak to people all over the UK, so I need to have a very broad accent. But that's my phone voice. This is not as extreme as that.
Yeah. I noticed it definitely when I'm talking to my friends, especially that have a really strong Manchester accent, and I'm very familiar with the Manchester accent, my intonation will sound different. I can't really explain. It will be interesting when I'm editing this to see how different we sound. Am I going to be like, who said that? Who's even talking? Who am I? It's just my identity crisis.
No, it's Fight Club. It's just one person.
Yeah, it's literally just one person. Anyway... This episode is going to be called Stats and Facts, and we thought it would be a really good idea to cover some topics that we're going to eventually be talking about in this podcast.
Just a little taster, a little teaser.
We've got stuff like social media, contraception, university, alcohol, mental health, relationships.
Anything in life that you would chat shit with your friends about.
Yeah.
We're going to do
it. So, I guess let's just head straight into it.
Who are we starting with? I mean, which topic?
Oh, yes.
I like to gender everything, so I'll say who when I mean what.
Oh.
I'll talk about a pencil and be like, she's
just works so well.
Exactly.
Our first topic was not language or gender. It is social media, especially to do with influencing, as I find that's a really interesting topic, especially to do with wages and how much influencers get paid. Yeah, definitely. That's not really a topic that's talked about a lot. And do you know where this idea came from? DD. Fifth biggest influencer and YouTuber in the USA, David Dobrik, recently costed a hypothetical social media campaign on his podcast. I mean, he is a social media influencer.
So he should know.
So he's pretty knowledgeable about the rates of social media influencers.
Yeah, but on his level, he might not know it all, because that's different from a girl in Newcastle getting paid to do a...
Oh, completely, yeah.
Just Eat ad, isn't it? There was a funny quote once about, like, asking Bill Gates how much a loaf of bread was, and he thought it was like $20.
Oh,
like, he had no idea. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
David Dobrik only has this very high level of
That is true. Although he did start from the bottom.
He's isn't he younger than us?
I think he might be 24.
That makes me a bit sick.
That makes me sick. I probably am going to mention him on every single podcast because I'm a little bit obsessed with him, as you probably know if you follow me on Instagram.
We'll do a whole episode.
Anyway, so this episode is not sponsored by David Dobrik. So to cost something is to estimate the price of. David Dobrik costed an Instagram campaign. He guessed at how much a person who had 1 million followers on Instagram and 1 million followers on YouTube would get paid by this fashion brand for doing this social media campaign. The campaign was 7 in-feed Instagram posts, 4 story swipe-ups, and 5 YouTube videos featuring brand ads.
Sorry, say that again.
And 5 YouTube videos featuring ads. 5 YouTube... Fucking hell. We're going to have to do a bloopers reel, aren't we? Right. The campaign was 7 in-feed Instagram posts, 4 story swipe-ups, and 5
and
YouTube...
a partridge in a pear tree.
So, how much do you think he costed the whole campaign as? Was it A, $10,000? Was it B, $78,000? Or was it C, $118,000?
First of all, that is so crazy, and I didn't even realise it was like done like that. I thought it would be like paid per post, but they obviously would have a package price for this many posts, this many stories. Can you tell me who it is?
No, I don't know who it is. They didn't actually say.
So I'm just going to go for the highest because I think...
So you think C, 118,000? Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah.
That is honestly so crazy that I understand that so much work goes into this, and I do completely respect influencers, but that is a crazy amount of money. 118,000, and that's just for one social media campaign. Like, imagine how many social media campaigns they're doing every year.
And this is why they have assistants and teams of people.
Yeah.
People think, you don't need these people
because
around.
And they can afford it, and if it's going to help them organise their lives, then why not fucking get an agent and get an assistant? I mean, David Dobrik's got 3.
God bless him.
I haven't got any.
You got me.
I've got Georgie.
We can be each other's assistants.
Okay, second one. This is Kim K question coming at you hot. According to Business Insider, how much does Kim K charge per Instagram post?
As of now?
2019 this was published.
Okay.
2020 is all right off anyway, so it's basically 2019.
Instagram grid feed page.
Instagram feed.
Oh my God.
A, $100,000. B, $500,000. Or C, 1.5 million.
Imagine being able to turn down £100,000 because you think that you're worth more than that for one post.
But then she doesn't need the money, so why would she
just a little bit more money? Do you need 10p? If you found 10p on the floor, would you pick it up?
No!
No. You would pick 10p up?
No! Are you
pick 10p up and put it in a pot?
2020, Georgie, it's global pandemic. I would not pick up 10p off
and
the
then
floor.
Wash it. I wouldn't pick any coins up off the floor, you peasant. I remember on when there was a big controversy with her and Chloe especially doing diet shakes and drinks and stuff, and it was like, they don't use this shit.
Yeah.
They don't use this shit.
They have colonoscopies. What's it called? What's it called?
I know what you're trying to say.
They suck fat out their assholes.
Liposuction. I think you meant colonoscopy, which is sucking the shit out of your ass, which is not the fat out of your ass.
Okay, yeah, this is not the same thing.
They have chefs, they have personal trainers, they have surgery. They don't. This was all on Keeping Up though, so she exposed herself like 6 months later, obviously, whenever they come out. And there was literally, so she made it, did it in a Nutribullet, she had them all lined out. I think it was, what's his name? Food God. What's his real name? Jonathan Shaban.
Joe Wicks.
Yeah, Joe Wicks was just round at Kim's. Just like, oh, yes, Kim, let's go. Joe Wicks is Kim's personal trainer. And he made her a shake. No, not Joe Wicks, Hannah. It was Jonathan
Shaban. Yeah.
And he takes the photo of her and he says, is this okay? And she's like approving the pics. She puts the glass to her mouth as if she's going to take a sip. And then she just pours it down the sink and she's like, I'm not drinking that shit. So mad. Let's go the highest.
It's actually not. It's not 1.5 million. It is $500,000.
Which is still insane.
It's still insane.
She can afford to do that. She has that mad reach. That's all they want. It's the same with any advertisement. You're paying for how many eyes are going to get it.
Yeah.
Think about, the billboards, like massive billboards on the biggest roads, on the most popular roads, are the most expensive ones.
I think it's just more about, we'll come into this when we do our social media episode, because I obviously did my dissertation on social media promotion, so I have a lot to say on this subject, but I think it is just like, in this day and age, the best form of advertising is like someone you know, someone you respect, someone you follow, an influencer you look up to, posting something about a brand, because instantly there is just that like familiarity with them and you trust what they're saying. So for example, if Molly May posts about a fashion brand and you really respect Molly May and you like her style, you're instantly going to be like, I like that fashion brand too because Molly May likes it. So you've got that instant
that is their
feedback.
job though.
Yeah, exactly.
To make
influence you.
Exactly. But it's not as genuine as it maybe used to be. I think now with the transparency of #sponsored, #gifted, #ad.
Oh, that's true,
you automatically think, you are getting paid to tell me that you
that's
like
a
this.
really interesting discussion,
So
actually.
There's this, which is the paid promotion side of things, and then there's just influencing whatever else they're doing.
Right, true. There is a very obvious disclaimer in the form of that #ad, which takes a bit of the trust away, you feel like.
And especially when, unlike that Keeping Up episode where Kim
see behind the scenes.
Exactly.
And I think now it's more in like this postmodern era where you do see the behind the scenes and you see all the hashtag sponsored, hashtag ad.
Well, we have
it's really like unpicking and digesting like what actually is behind an Instagram ad.
And we've seen it develop, because I remember when Instagram started and there was no such thing as paid Instagram ads. That wasn't a thing. Like even brands didn't have Instagram pages yet. We've seen the whole development of it, whereas maybe even if you're 12, 13, 14, 15, getting social media pages now, you don't know any different. That is just what social media is. It's paid promotions, it's influencing, it's advertisement. Maybe they don't realise it as much but we've seen a more change of it, a development of it, the divide.
Shit, what was I watching the other day? Oh no, it was in The Queen's Gambit. Have you seen it?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay,
Go on, tell me. Spoil it.
I'll try to say it without giving any spoilers, but basically she has to go to Moscow to play in a tournament and a Christian group sponsor her to go. And obviously the Americans at the time, trying to combat communism in Russia. So they give her a statement and present this statement to the press as if it's her own news. And that's almost like brand influencing.
100%. And
that's just really... I was like, oh, this is so interesting because this is obviously set in the 60s and it's like the first little glimpse at influencing, but it's more influencing.
Yeah, it's called propaganda.
Yeah. So basically, in this day and
That
age,
is what it is.
influencing is economic propaganda.
100%. My example of this is really funny. So peak Jersey Shore days, you know, when Snooki was like the butt of the joke. People would be her for Halloween and like puff their hair up and wear like fuckloads of fake tan. So Louis Vuitton would send her Gucci bags to make it look cheap, so that they would
That's
fuck
amazing.
their competitor over to make it look cheap and nasty and think, oh, the type of girls that will do what she does,
But how horrible
we don't want
for
them
her.
as our...
It's literally like reverse influencing.
Yeah, but that probably happens now. That probably still happens.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Next subject.
Next question,
It's
please.
probably one of my favourites because I wanted to chat about this shit publicly.
scared.
And it is contraception. The big C.
Controversial.
The big C. Yeah, very controversial. I know, and you know, because we're both females, we talk about this shit so much. I don't think I've ever gone for a night out with a girlfriend to catch up and we've not talked about contraception.
I don't think it's possible to have an acquaintance who's a female who's not brought this subject up.
We've bitched about the pill.
I feel like what football is to boys is what contraceptives to girls. Like some are into it more than others. Some have more knowledge. Some are way more passionate about it. But everyone can talk on it a little bit.
Yeah.
My boyfriend has gotten angrier about a football game than I ever have about taking a pill every single day.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a really bold statement. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions.
Okay.
And you're going to tell me if it's true or false.
As in 100% facts. These aren't either true or false.
Yeah.
Not just what I think.
Oh no, they're
Okay.
either they're facts.
Or they're not.
Or are they not facts? So men were the first to try a contraceptive pill. True or false?
That could easily be true and lost in history because of how...
Potentially, yeah.
I feel like they would have made a massive deal out of it, as men do.
This is a bit of a trick question, not gonna lie, because
False.
they did actually try a male contraceptive pill. Probably should have written when they had tried this out. I didn't do that, sorry.
It's okay.
I'm
You're not coming here for information.
Yeah, are you really coming here for information? Because we've got a lot of opinions, just not information. Might not necessarily be true, but we're about to find out if this is true. That's such a bad segue. Researchers rounded up some guy study subjects and tested it out. Unfortunately,
Bruh. You take a breath.
Sorry,
You
wait.
take
give
a
me
minute.
sec. Unfortunately, they developed drunken testicles and crazy mood swings. Needless to say, that experiment was quickly discontinued. If they did a trial...
Men already have... What was it?
Shrunken
testicles and crazy mood swings.
How can they... yeah, maybe.
Just like women already have mood swings, but they can be more severe.
I think if they trialled the pill as a brand new drug in this day and age, it would not pass regulations. It would absolutely not pass regulations because everyone would be like, I'm crying, but I don't know why. Like, what's happening to me?
If there are any new pills.
Or like, I've got really fat. No one
Every-
would pass the contraceptive pill.
Every single medication, like anything, has side effects though. You're taking a risk by getting on anything.
Yeah, but this isn't a risk. Your personality is going to change. You're going to cry a little bit and you're not going to know why.
You're saying you, the general you, but you mean yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe.
So, no, because I could take your pill and be fine. It affects everyone absolutely differently.
I just got into the sex clinic and Georgie's my nurse.
But because they've told me this so many times. Every GP or...
Brainwashed.
You know, I know someone who has had the worst experience with the coil, and then person B could have the same coil fitted on the same day and it'd be absolutely fine.
That's true.
It's terrible. It's same with food. You and food.
You can eat potatoes.
And you can't.
I can't eat potatoes.
You can drink coffee and I can't.
Yeah, that is very true. Wow, contraception. Interesting.
Yeah. I just needed to calm you down because you were going to go crazy.
I know, and it's not even the contraception event.
Your personality's going to change. You're going to cry
fucking brace yourself for when we have that contraception episode because you know what's coming up. So basically, they did try the pill on men, but they developed crazy mood swings, so it wasn't passed. Interesting.
But you know what that is? That's about who out of the two sexes wants to be in charge of things and make decisions.
So you think that they didn't pass them because the men didn't want to feel like they weren't in control?
Well, in control of their own bodies, maybe. We're not bashing on men, that's not what this is for.
Oh, no, not at all. Men, no.
I know at least 2 decent men.
Do any of them include Ed?
Maybe.
Ed is Georgie's boyfriend.
No, okay, yeah, not included. Yeah, okay, maybe 3 then.
Anyway, next one. Lemons or pomegranate seeds?
Oh, I thought that was the question. Lemons or pomegranate? Lemons, please.
True or false? What have we drank?
Wine.
Mulled wine. Lemons or pomegranate seeds was the first form of contraception. Is that grammatically correct? Maybe not. Sure.
And as in, shove them up there.
Yeah, I guess so.
Pray to God they do
something.
something.
Back in those days, you fucking wouldn't know.
There is that was not until much recently, I'd say in the last maybe 50 years-ish, maybe less, they thought that the whole person, fetus, was in the sperm and that it just got implanted into us.
Within the last 50 years?
Yes. Until about microscope was big enough to look at sperm.
Oh, God. They just think men do all the work, don't they?
That we're just the oven. That we're just the shell to be implanted upon.
Savage.
Yeah, so that wasn't until that recently when they realised, oh, we're half and half. We've got half the DNA, you've got half the DNA.
I wonder if these biological ideals has anything to do with how women are treated.
I wonder.
I wonder too.
Perhaps. Right, so I'm going to say true.
Yeah, half lemons were inserted as a diaphragm-type device.
Have you ever seen a diaphragm?
Back in the 1700s.
Oh, wow.
It's like a female condom.
But you know those shitty little toys you would get in a party bag that was like a popper? Flip it inside out and then leave it and like a minute later it's boiling up. That's what a diaphragm looks like.
It literally does look like the end of... If you haven't unwrapped a condom and it's like just that little pointy bit, the little pointy hat.
Well, yeah. Then that's also reminds me, it's like a moon cup backwards.
Yeah, that's maybe where they got the idea from.
Oh, terrible. Just don't have sex.
Just honestly,
don't do it.
It's not fucking worth it.
Don't take the risk. And pomegranate seeds, though, are they going inside?
Pomegranate seeds.
How does that work? I'm going to Google it now.
I can tell you about pomegranate seeds. While it's true that lemon is a spermicide, lemon acid can also be destructive to the internal vaginal tissue.
Women in the past used sponges soaked in lemon juice to prevent pregnancy. The citric acid in lemons acts as a natural spermicide.
That's fucking...
Oh, it's not worth it, ladies.
No. And also, ancient Greeks ate pomegranate seeds, believing it prevented pregnancy. There's Georgie looking for all the information she can get on pomegranate seeds. As what, like, did they shove them in the vagina? No, they just ate them.
That's okay. The fact that people pursued them shows how strong their desire was for birth control.
Yeah.
And this was
they just
before
want to shag and not get pregnant. This brings me on to my third point. True or false? The idea for an IUD may have come from a camel.
Do you have any elaboration on that?
When I first read that, I was like, the camel toe? Does that look like an IUD?
No, the reason...
IUD? What?
Bruh.
The phrase camel toe is when your vagina looks like a camel's toe.
Yeah, I know, but like... Oh, yeah. I think the idea for an IUD probably came a little bit before the camel toe phrase was invented.
Well, you tell me if that's true or false.
Oh, it's true.
Whoa. Let's find out why.
I can tell you why. I have the facts right here on my piece of paper.
I'm just
going to read it to you, or you want to go search for it yourself?
Camel toe.
Ancient Arab... That's a fucking tongue twister. Ancient Arab camel owners reportedly placed small stones in the uteruses of their animals to prevent pregnancy. Ooh. This episode has taken a turn.
Where did you...
It went from marketing to
intrauterine,
sperm.
so, I mean, come on. These are the things we talk about.
These are the things we talk about, sperm and economics. The third topic is relationships. And obviously this is a huge topic. We could literally have a whole series on...
relationships.
Yeah, relationships. Obviously this is something that you also do chat about with your female friends non-stop, especially if you're in relationships. Or even if you're not in relationships, if you're dating, you chat about that shit a lot. Do you want to read the facts out, actually?
You know what? Yeah, let's switcheroo.
Georgie's going to read the facts.
These are just facts, then. This isn't the game. We're not playing anymore. This isn't a game. These are just straight up facts.
This is not a game.
Approximately 20% of men and 13% of women cheat.
I mean, that doesn't really surprise me.
Is that just in straight relationships?
Yes, there is, actually.
Oh my god, are you homophobic?
What?
That's
completely not what I'm going to talk about. I know it might seem
this stat
a bit
just
shocking that men cheat more than women do, but it can be argued, grudgingly am I going to say this, that there is a biological reason for why men cheat over women. It's because women are like primarily focused on one partner, whereas men are focused on
spreading their seed
to multiple partners, as many relationships that they can consummate.
Are you excusing any man who's like...
Fuck no! You know I'm not. We're not primal beings. We're more than that.
I've got just another little truth bomb for you, which is going to blow your mind.
Okay.
The reason why we're so fucked up at the moment is because technology... Yeah, but technology and our society has advanced faster than we have as animals. We're not ready. We've not evolved enough to keep up with the way the world is right now. That's why there's so much mental health issues.
That's so interesting.
We have not caught up. Like, think how
Where
much...
have you got this information from?
I can't remember. I didn't make it up. Like, it sounds like...
Oh my god, I believe you. I didn't fucking make it up, Hannah.
I heard it somewhere good.
Okay, right, never mind. Source not confirmed.
Like Bill Gates' podcast or something crazy like that.
Reddit.
Like, some
crazy stuff on Reddit.
Oh no, I won't believe anything I read on Reddit.
That's where I got all this information from Reddit. No, I'm joking.
But yeah, but how mad is that and how true is that? Like, you see animals that have evolved at just as much a rate in the last, thousands of millions of years that we have, because that's inevitable, that biologically you'll evolve. But they don't have society and technology to keep up with them.
Like computers that are almost at our brain.
Yeah, and interaction with people all around the world as well.
Yeah.
We're just physically not ready for it.
Wow, that's a really interesting...
But hundreds of years ago, all you had to do was grow up, learn some things, get a job, learn a trade, do some stuff, have a family, and that was it. You're happy with that because that's enough that your brain can handle. Whereas now, there's too much for our brains to handle. Too many
I think there's also too much information available to us that we feel like we have to consume it all.
Yeah.
And if you're not consuming knowledge, there is pressure to consume knowledge, and if you're not, you're unproductive. You're not learning as much as you could do. So it's like we're trying to work faster than our brain can comprehend.
Exactly.
And can consume more than our brain can comprehend, especially with stuff like iPhones.
And so this leads us back to the fact that men can't handle it, so they're out shagging more than we are.
Do you think?
Maybe.
Why can men not handle it more than we can? You'd think we wouldn't be able to handle it with all the emotional trauma that the pillars causing us.
Or they get bored.
Maybe, who knows? We're going to come back to you on that in our actual relationship episode.
And the stats reveal that among married individuals between the ages of 18 to 29, which already is young to be married.
Yeah, definitely.
And women are more likely to cheat in that age group than men, 11% compared to 10% of men, which does make sense because if a woman got married maybe that early or that young and then would maybe realise she wasn't happy.
But I think potentially it could work both ways.
And maybe get a bit more settled or happier and solid and older, you're not going to cheat as well.
I think it's probably because if you've married so early, you would then come to the realisation that you've got so much of your life, like the majority of your life, to still live, but you're living it with the one person. Whereas
there's many different reasons that people cheat.
there's so many different reasons. You
can't just say one, can we? It's not an age, it's not always an age thing.
Although it's really interesting that furthermore the highest rate of infidelity is reported in women over their 60s, 16%. Women over their 60s are getting some. That's quite sad though. But when we're sad for all the 60-year-old men.
So women what are the men doing? I mean, you'll meet some people who will say that all men will cheat, or that everyone's capable of cheating, which to a certain degree you could say that. Everyone is also capable of being a murderer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Well, 11% of married women who are married between 18 and 29 is still a tenth. Is that bad? 1 in every 10.
I think it's
young
bad
married
because
people,
you know how I feel about cheating. But at the same time, it's not a surprise, so that this statistic doesn't shock me.
I actually thought that would be higher.
If it was that's a high number, it doesn't shock me. However, it could be argued that a tenth is low.
So if 50% of these marriages, half of all marriages do end in divorce, then how many of that percentage is because of cheating, but also how many people that have cheated have stayed married? Like half of every marriage does not last. Yeah.
That's honestly soul destroying. Like, as someone that's obviously not married, that's something that
that's
you
their point of
look
life.
up
You
to.
look forward to everything, and it's never what you think it's going to be.
Potentially, don't say that last week or something. But it is like that amazing day, amazing time. You're really happy. It's the happiest you'll ever be in your life. To then know that the statistic is that 50% of marriages end in divorce it's so sad.
Someone I used to work with was 25, 26, and she'd already been married and divorced. She was our age now.
How young was she when she got married?
Like 20.
Fuck that.
Yeah, but if you're really in love,
I was 20 when I think it was 20 when I was in my second relationship, and that was like, we don't want to go into that.
I do know someone who's with their first person they've ever been with, and they're happily married. And you know, it's funny talking about this. I'd seen something that was like women couldn't even open their own bank accounts until like 1975, some silly year like that. And this is why, you know, people will be like so nostalgic and be like, oh, but my grandparents have been together for 50 years, like relationships aren't built like they used to. Well, he used to literally own her because she couldn't have her own money and her own things. So that's probably why they've stayed married for this amount of time.
Interesting that.
Whereas you're not getting married for the stability, the financial, to say you're married. Last one.
The last one is actually a really interesting stat. What percent of men swipe right?
Right is yes.
Right is yes. What percent of men swipe right for women they're actually attracted to? Is it A, 98, B, 85, or C, 72?
Wait, surely they would swipe right on anyone they're attracted to.
Because you're attracted to them.
I feel like I know what men are like, and I know work in quite a laddie environment, and I know what they all talk about, and I know how they look at pictures of women and Tinder and people's Instagram and Facebook and stuff. It's terrible to say, but like objectively, we could easily say if she's pretty, and are they just looking at her body and her boobs? Do you know what I mean?
If they saw a picture, they would go to the body and the boobs, whereas we'd go to like face and makeup. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. People's idea of what they find attractive is of course very different. I'm not saying that that's not. People have all their own attractions, but no, a man would swipe if maybe the way someone was dressed or what they were wearing or how they were posed, rather than thinking she's attractive.
Oh, so you think if they look more sexually open, they would swipe right? Not necessarily whether she's attractive or not.
Do you think boys that go on Tinder and think, oh, I think she's pretty, I'll swipe right? Of course, pretty pictures, but that's not the reason they're on there, is it? Not all of them. Open Tinder, looking for love, she's beautiful, I'm going to wife her up. Do they think that every single person, 98% of the time they're swiping? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
No. The lowest percentage.
72%? You'd be fucking right.
Yeah.
Georgie, you're smashing these. Female Tinder users are more careful in their approach, with 91% reporting that they only liked profiles that they felt attracted to, and 72% for men. It's quite interesting because, to be honest, I'm baffled why the hell would you swipe right for someone that you're not attracted to? Because it's like, are you really going to chat? Are you actually going to chat to them? But then it is very different for females, isn't it? Because we actually would only talk to someone that we're attracted to, and we'd probably only initially message someone first if we were attracted to them.
Maybe, which is terrible because that's just the base level, but probably underneath that we're probably more bothered about personality.
Oh yeah.
Whereas the tricky thing with Tinder is you can only make that first judgment off a picture or a few pictures that they're choosing.
But I think that also is because, say for example, if a man and a woman were both on Tinder for the same reasons, and that reason being they were looking for sex, a man wouldn't be as bothered as the woman about being attracted to the woman he's having sex with. Whereas a woman, I feel like would be.
Yeah.
Attraction would be more important. I think for men it's more just the sex. Like they don't care who they're shagging. They care like that they're having sex.
And some men, and probably equally some women in the opposite sense, don't appreciate what people are looking for and will present themselves to certain different ways. Like you could be
like the most,
but you can tell
desirable way.
Say if a guy's on Tinder and he's got like LinkedIn quality photos like in a suit or like Do you know what I mean? Or like ones with his parents or with the dog.
Yeah.
It's very different. The same guy could easily have on his Tinder profile his holiday pictures and his nights out with his boys pictures. He's presented himself very differently there.
Yeah.
I've got a friend at work who he's got Tinder, and his profile pictures, like you have like 4, don't you, or something like that. He's got sunglasses on, like 2 of them, and 2 of them are really far out, and he's like in the sea or something, so he's showing off his body, and he's showing off like a nice haircut and his sunglasses and his shirt he's wearing. He's good looking and he's got lovely eyes, and you can't see this on his profile, and I think that's so stupid.
Yeah.
And he's like, he just wants to show off that the haircut he had, the holiday he was on, and his body. Well, they're not seeing,
I think
they can't see your face
a
at
lot
all.
of the time guys don't know what their best qualities are.
No, not at all.
It's like, I think he's going to kill me for saying this, but I always say to Sam, he's really lucky because he's got really nice hair, and when he wears his fucking beanies, I'm like, why are you wearing that? You're literally covering your best quality.
Love that. Do you go out in matching beanies?
Never gonna happen.
I only used Tinder for a month 5.5 years ago. It's changed so much in that
Only
time.
a month?
In between my 2 serious relationships. And the only thing that was funny when you were on it in your hometown, like you match with like your friends from high school.
I
like,
couldn't do
haha, what are you doing on here?
If I was back home, I would not open Tinder. I would not want to.
Well, you don't have to.
I don't have to anymore. Yeah.
There's all sorts. There's super like you can be verified on Tinder, like as if it's a
a celebrity.
Yeah, I've been seeing Vine.
Oh yeah, I
TikTok.
matched a famous YouTuber.
Oh.
I forgot what his name is. He's like more famous like a couple of years ago.
Casper Lee.
Like no, they were American.
Oh.
What was his name? Cameron Diaz. Cameron Diaz. That's the woman. Not Cameron Diaz. Cameron Dallas. Cameron Diaz.
In the mess.
Cameron Diaz. Cameron Dallas.
Okay. Not him.
No, different one.
Another
one
one.
of his friends. He was a massive
Nowhere.
Always had his top off.
I don't know. Anyway, on TikTok, there's British TikTok influencers advertising being Tinder verified.
Grim. Now everyone uses famous one for Tinder for famous people. It begins with an R.
Well, anyway, so on this TikTok Tinder app ad that they're doing, they'll do like...
Raya.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. They'll do a transition where they're like, got no makeup on and their hair's like in a messy bun, and they'll be like, this is me before I was Tinder verified, and then they'll do a transition, they'll just like smack the screen, and then I'll have the hair and the makeup done, they'll say, this is me since I've been Tinder verified.
I don't understand that. That's
It's not
grim.
funny.
No, I
and
don't
it's not
understand
good. Right, is that it? We've covered a lot of
We have actually
bases.
covered a
The
lot,
tips
yeah.
of all the icebergs, shall we say. The tips of a few of the biggest icebergs.
That we will eventually cover. We're unveiling these icebergs.
There'll be plenty. What we've done is we've proven how deep we can get over tiny little things. There's just so much shit to be chatted.
We would actually love to hear your feedback on our first episode. We have an Instagram account, which is The Female Shit Show.
And Twitter as well.
We would love to hear your thoughts. If you want to chat to us about anything we've talked about, please hit us up on Twitter.
Also find us on YouTube.
Yeah, we're going to be
have some fun
posting.
stuff.
We're going to be posting any video content that we post. E.g., if we record our podcast, we also have a little Q&A that we film.
Because we're not going to put, makeup and hair on every time we do this.
Yeah, sorry, it's too much effort. So please actually subscribe to our YouTube and follow us on Instagram. And if we're posting this on Spotify, which I hope we are, or wherever we post it, please give us a 5-star review. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening. Honestly, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much. We'll talk at you next time.
We'll talk at you next time.
Bye.
How does the outro go?
No.
We'll sing it. Let's sing
There's
it. Ooh, yeah.